Hi everyone, my name is David, and today I want to tell you a very personal story in my life. It is a story about a period when I felt completely stuck and lost. Everything was falling apart, from my job, my family relationships, to my sense of self-worth. It was a time when I let laziness and lack of discipline drag my life into chaos. But importantly, it was also the time when I realized the need to change and find myself again. If you have been or are in the same situation as me before, I hope this story will help you look back and find your own direction. My life was not always this difficult and deadlocked. When I was young, I was a person with great ambitions and dreams. I graduated from university, believing that the future would be bright and that life would only have good things. After graduating, I started working at a small company. It wasn't my dream job, but it did bring me stability. I thought that as long as I had a stable job and income, everything would be fine, and that as long as I had enough money to cover my living expenses, I would be successful. Not long after, I married the woman I loved. She was smart, patient, and determined. We had 2 lovely children together. Our small family seemed to be everything a man could dream of, but reality didn't always go the way I expected. After having children, family life began to change. The financial burden of having to take care of 2 children increased, and the stability of my job that I once thought was enough no longer met the needs of life. However, instead of finding ways to improve, I fell into apathy and laziness. At first, laziness came from small things that I didn't pay attention to. I started waking up later every day, no longer having the energy to work or take care of my family. At work, I only did enough to complete the tasks without setting any goals. I also did not want to face important tasks, always procrastinating until everything became urgent. When the company asked me to learn more skills or participate in new projects, I always found a way to refuse or do it perfunctorily. I started to seek entertainment in useless things like playing games and watching TV for hours on end. This made me forget the responsibilities I should have taken on. Responsibilities to myself, my family, and my career. These temporary pleasures made me gradually forget the meaning of living with goals and the will to strive. At the company, I no longer had the motivation to learn and develop. Every day, I went to work only out of obligation, not out of passion or dedication. This gradually showed clearly in the results of my work. My performance dropped drastically, projects were often delayed, and I began to feel anxious about my position in the company. But instead of facing the challenges and trying to overcome them, I sank into apathy. I consoled myself that this job was not worth the effort and that I deserved more time to relax. That indulgence made me fall behind my colleagues. My chances of promotion gradually disappeared, and I was stuck in a job that I no longer respected. Not only was my work affected, my family also began to fall apart. I no longer cared much about spending time with my wife and children. Family meals became cold. I often withdrew into a corner with my phone in hand, while my wife felt lonely and depressed. I did not realize that my indifference and lack of responsibility were gradually destroying what I cherished most. My wife tried to talk to me many times, but instead of listening, I brushed it off. I thought everything was fine and there was no need to change. But the truth was, I was avoiding. I was avoiding my responsibility as a father, avoiding my responsibility as a husband, and even my responsibility to myself. Cracks began to appear in our marriage. We argued more and more. The distance between me and my wife grew wider and wider. My wife felt tired because I refused to change, and I was sinking into a feeling of helplessness and didn't know how to get out. When things started to go downhill, I didn't take better care of myself. Instead of exercising, I chose to sleep late and eat unscientifically. I kept eating fast, unhealthy foods, leading to weight gain and poor health. I got tired easily and didn't have enough energy to work and play with my children. Poor physical health was accompanied by a decline in spirit. I felt depressed, without goals and motivation in life. Everything seemed to be at a standstill, and I fell into a depression that I couldn't get out of. Looking back now, I realized that there were many reasons why my life became a mess. Here are some of the big reasons that I have concluded. Laziness was the biggest reason why my life fell into a bad state. I let being easy on myself become a daily habit. Without personal discipline, I did not know how to manage my time or prioritize important things. Without discipline, I easily let go and procrastinate. Small goals at work, responsibilities to my family, all were neglected. I also lacked responsibility for my own life. Instead of seeing life as an opportunity for me to develop and grow, I saw it as a series of boring tasks that I just needed to survive through. I did not realize that I had responsibilities not only to myself, but also to my family, wife, and children. When I lacked a sense of responsibility, I lost the opportunity to improve and build a better future. Instead of facing the difficulties, I chose to avoid them. I avoided the feeling of helplessness at work by surfing social media for hours, playing games, and watching TV. This only deepened my state of uncertainty and made things worse. Ultimately, I did not invest in myself. I did not learn, did not develop new skills, and did not seek opportunities to improve. I settled for short-term stability without realizing that it was causing me to fall behind others. The lack of investment in myself made me lose my competitiveness at work and obscured my value in life. All of this led to inevitable consequences. My job became unstable. I lost my chance of promotion, and my salary could not support my family. My family gradually became distant, and I faced the risk of losing my wife and 2 children whom I loved the most. I realized that if I did not change, everything would collapse. This was not the life I had dreamed of, and I knew I had to do something to get out of this situation. Ultimately, this story is not just about my failure, but also a reminder to all of us of how to avoid laziness and indulgence. Life is never easy, but if we do not face challenges and do not maintain discipline, things will quickly become chaotic. In the next videos, I will share with you how I changed my life, from rebuilding positive habits, improving family relationships, to finding motivation at work again. I had to face the hard truth about myself and work hard to change. And if I did it, you can too. Join me on this journey, and remember, change is a process, not a destination. Thank you for listening, and if this story resonates with you, leave a comment and share your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next videos. See you again.